Yo, welcome, hello, and welcome back to the era of the redemption. So yeah, believe it or not, the world just entered the last month of the Jewish calendar, which is called the month of Elul in Hebrew, and it's a pretty important month, believe it or not. It's actually, as we said, the last month of the year, which is kind of like a preparation for the Jewish New Year coming up in, believe it or not, about a month from now. And this entire time is referred to in the Torah as a time of special divine mercy, where, so to speak, the Creator is openly accessible to all who want to greet Him. And the Alter Rebbe, the founder of Chabad, said that this revelation that happens in the month of Elul is similar to a king out in the field, like a wheat field where people are working, like just where the average person is going in the field. So the king, like a very special king, is there. Usually a king is hidden away in his palace, and people have to have special permission to go greet the king and stuff. But during the month of Elul, which is a time of divine mercy, that means like the king is like openly accessible, like out in the field, and he's readily waiting to let anyone who wants to go greet him come and greet him. So what exactly is the source of Elul in the Torah? It says in the Torah that Moshe was on the mountain, Mount Sinai, getting the Torah and asking for forgiveness to the Jewish people for 120 days and nights, almost consecutively, minus a couple days in between. First, he went up right after the Creator revealed Himself to the millions of the Jewish people, 51 days after the Exodus. Then he went up for 40 days and 40 nights to get the tablets, basically, and bring them back down to the earth. And then when he came down, he saw the Jewish people were worshiping this golden calf, which was bad. So then he broke the tablets, then he had to, he tried the people that were worshiping it, and then there was a lot of judgments and stuff. Then he went up again to try to ask for forgiveness for the Jewish people for a second set of 40 days and 40 nights, almost right after, like the day after. And then after that, then the Creator said, okay, I'm going to forgive them. And the Creator basically told Moshe 13 reasons why He is merciful. And those 13 reasons, essentially, the Creator said, anytime you mention these 13 reasons of why I'm merciful, then it's like, I'll always forgive you guys, basically. And it mentions in the Torah what they are, it says Hashem is like abounding in, He's kind, so to speak, slow to anger, and has great kindness and mercy and grace, and stuff like that. And He always cleanses. The details are mentioned in the Torah, basically. The point is there's 13 different things that the Creator, 13, so to speak, attributes, or whatever that means, or like reasons for why the Creator forgives people. And that day that He basically forgave them essentially was after He forgave them pretty much, then Moshe went up again for another set of 40 days and 40 nights. And that time that he came up was the beginning of the month of Elul, which was the new month, which was the beginning of the 12th month of the Jewish year. And that is the month that we're at now. Then Moshe was on the mountain for a third set of 40 days and 40 nights, where he got the second set of tablets, and he also got the Talmud and a lot of other teachings. And that third set of 30 days and 40 nights was entirely a time of mercy, because that was already after the Creator forgave them, pretty much. So then, during this entire time, or at least during the time Moshe was on the mountain, it was like a time of these 13 attributes of divine mercy that the Creator already told him about. So this entire time, during the month of Elul, and then Moshe came down again on Yom Kippur, where the atonement was totally completed with the second set of tablets, and that was 40 days later. But the beginning of that time of mercy in the Torah itself is the time of Elul. So, in some Kabbalistic commentaries, it says that the Hebrew word for Elul Aleph Lamed Vav Lamed. It says it spells out. It's like an acronym. Those letters of the Hebrew word are an acronym for a verse in the Song of Songs from King Shlomo through prophecy, which says, "I am for my beloved, and my beloved is to me." This refers to an analogy of the Jewish people and the Creator, who are like a beloved people, so to speak, metaphorically, to each other. And so there's this idea that first I, like referring to the Jewish people, going with their own initiative, like approach the Creator, so to speak, to serve the Creator. Then the Creator responds to us in kind. My beloved, which is the Creator, is to us. And the beginning letters of each of those words in Hebrew spell out the word Elul in Elul, which is the month that we're in. So that means that this time that we're in now, the time of divine mercy, represents the ideas that are in this verse in the Song of Songs, basically. This is like a discourse from the Lubavitcher Rebbe who talks about what the Alter Rebbe said. So when it says I am for my beloved, that implies, first of all, that Elul is time from human awakening from below, human initiative. It's a time of mercy from above on the one hand, but it's also like the time that we are supposed to put in our own efforts to serve the Creator. Awakening from below, like an initiation from below, if that makes sense, like something that we have to do on our own. But then later, so then Elul is kind of like a preparation for the time that happens afterwards, which is the Jewish New Year, which is the Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which comes after Elul. And that is an awakening from above, or a revelation from above. During the Jewish New Year, and the time after that, it's like a big revelation from the Creator Himself to all the Jewish people in the whole world, etc. It's a massive revelation that causes more blessings throughout the whole year. And it causes, because of that spiritual revelation that happens there, that influences a lot of them to serve the Creator more. The point is that there's an actual revelation that happens later in the times of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and those revelations that happen there draw a person to the Creator openly. But during Elul, there's also revelations, but it's mainly just it's expected that we should approach the Creator on our own efforts first. So at the initial thought, you might think, okay, Rosh Elul is the time where we prepare with our own efforts in order to have the Creator's response from above later. But no, really, it says that Elul has both things: the awakening, the initiation from a person, a man, and Awtsmoos, and the Creator. Because all of the terms, both I am for my beloved and my beloved is to me, are all included within Elul itself. So Elul is not only a preparation, Elul is not only the first part, which is I'm for my beloved, and then later in Rosh Hashanah, it's my beloved is to me. But no, both of these ideas are both included in Elul. I'm for my beloved and my beloved is to me, meaning our initiation from below and the Creator's response to us are both included within Elul itself. In Elul, and so okay, it makes sense to say, okay, during the Elul, since it's a preparation, it makes sense that we say, I'm for my beloved, that we approach the Creator on our own. But why is it that in Elul itself, which is seemingly just like the preparation for Rosh Hashanah, it's a time where it says, my beloved is to me? So then the Alter Rebbe explains that really, because in Elul, during the entire time of Elul, we have the 13 attributes of divine mercy, which you said was the 13 reasons why the Creator forgives people, that were told to Moshe around this time during this month. So this entire month is a revelation of those, so to speak, attributes of mercy of the Creator. And it's implied, at this point, that because of that revelation of the mercy from the Creator, then the month also has the idea of my beloved is to me, even though it kind of happens before, and the idea of this revelation of mercy, so to speak, is what influences a person to approach the Creator. So seemingly it's happening before, but it's still mentioning my beloved is to me. This idea, meaning the 13 attributes of mercy being in Elul, still includes it. So this revelation of mercy of the Creator is revealed to all, even the most distant wanderer, even some people who are metaphorically, so to speak, so seemingly so distant from the Creator, the ultimate distance. But this revelation is for all. So this revelation of the mercy of the Creator is different than the revelations that happen during the Jewish New Year, which is later. During the Jewish New Year and Yom Kippur, etc., that's such a great quality of revelation that it actually influences the people to serve the Creator directly. It's almost like forcing their hand, so to speak, to serve the Creator. It's such a massive revelation. People can't can't not serve the Creator almost. Such massive revelations. But during this time, the revelations are more subtle. They're still there, but they don't awaken the person directly. They kind of empower the people to be able to serve the Creator, to approach the Creator on their own. Meaning, like, they're kind of like the initial stage of like I wouldn't say influencing, but it's like they're kind of there. And it says to empower the people to approach the Creator with their own efforts. It's mainly based on our own efforts. But later on in the 10 days, which is after the Jewish New Year, for 10 days after that, until Yom Kippur, then there's so to speak, and at this stage, we're assuming it's a greater quality of revelation that actually awakens the people themselves. But now the revelation in Elul doesn't actually awaken the people; it's just there to empower them to be able to approach the Creator. But nevertheless, there's still a difference in the revelation, because the revelation that happens later in Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, even though it's a greater quality, but it's only more exclusive to only those who are more like only very specific, exclusive people who are worthy of it, etc. But during Elul, even though it's a lesser, even though we're assuming now that it's a lesser quality of revelation, but the revelation is actually to all people, even those who are very far away. So it has an advantage. On the one hand, it's implied that it's a lesser quality of revelation because it doesn't actually awaken the people themselves. It just empowers them. But nevertheless, it's a greater quantity of revelation because it's found to everyone. So Elul is like the choice of us, free awakening of the soul, meaning like it's the time where people have to choose on their own to approach the Creator, and there's not like a force from above that's like influencing them to do so. But then during Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, there kind of is. And an analogy to explain that says during the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that's like the Creator is metaphorically like in a palace where access is rare and guarded. The king in the palace has like the crown of the king, and he has all kinds of royal garbs, and like the fact that people who see him in the palace are like very inspired that he's a very great king. But in order to see the king in the palace, it's actually very exclusive, and many people wait like years to see the king. There has to be all kinds of conditions. So on the one hand, he has more of a revelation in the palace, where he's got the king, the crown of the king, and all the royal garments and all the glory of the palace. But in order to actually get to the palace, it's more exclusive. It's more rare. But during Elul, the Alter Rebbe says that the king is like in the fields, metaphorically, like out in the field where all the people are working, even like average people, like people work in the field all the time, which is like, you know, where wheat grows, whatever. Just regular field where people grow, people work. So when the king's in the field, he's not like dressed up in the same kingly garments as he would be in the palace. So he's kind of like more like dressed up and with like as the people are. He's kind of like more accessible to the people themselves. And so on the one hand, it seems to be a lesser quality of revelation because he has less of the splendor of a king. But the fact that he's in the field means that anyone all the people feels like the public domain, anyone who's in the field can go approach the king. But when it's in the palace, even though it's more of a greater quality, but it's more limited quantity because only some people can get it. King in the field, the Alter Rebbe says that his face shines with open welcome, meaning like it says when the king is in the field, it says he's ready to greet anyone with a beautiful face. Like, not only is he in the field, but he's in the field ready to meet anyone. So the king is like this. Like, this is an analogy for the king in the field for the revelation of the 13 attributes of mercy that were revealed to Moshe around this time. So this revelation is at this initial stage, we're assuming that the quality of the revelation is lesser than the quality of Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, but it's accessible, like out in the fields, meaning like this revelation of the Creator's mercy is to everyone, like a king who is in a field with a face that's ready to welcome anyone who approaches him. So Elul's revelation, which is the month we're in now, the last month of the Jewish year, is empowerment to return freely, meaning like it doesn't actually so to speak, influence the people themselves. People still have free choice, but it's like just the fact that this revelation of the Creator's mercy exists, and it's in a way that's like in the field accessible to all, that gives people like some kind of internal inspiration, not direct inspiration in terms of like influencing what they feel or whatever, but it's like it could give them like a kind of a internal inspiration. Like they realize, oh wow, the king is like in the same place where I am, so that like gives them like an empowerment to have their own free will to approach the Creator. Oh, this is ChatGPT, brutal. Yeah, so this is all found in the discourse called לדודי from the Hebrew year 5726, 1966, from the Lubavitcher Rebbe in a book called Meluket. So Rosh Hashanah, so Elul is like the king is in the fields, and he's accessible to everyone. But during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Jewish New Year, that's like the king is enthroned in majesty in a palace where everyone has like awe of him. So it's like such a greater revelation and an obvious revelation of him being a king, but it's more exclusive. But in Elul, he's out in the fields. In the field, the Alter Rebbe says two things. He says this idea of the 13 attributes of mercy in Elul is like an analogy of a king going out in the field, and it says he greets anyone who wants to greet him with a beautiful face, and then the Alter Rebbe says that he shows a shining face. He shows a smiling face to all of them. So there's two things. The welcoming face, or beautiful face in Hebrew, that means that he's ready to accept any person. Meaning, like, that's like before the people approach the king. The king is already there with the expectation that he would welcome anyone who wants to greet him. So like the king is accessible, like the Creator is accessible in this time with a welcoming face, such that like he's ready to accept anyone who wants to greet him. But then when the Alter Rebbe says that he shows a shining face, or a smiling face, technically, he shows a smiling face to all of them, that refers to the joy of the Awtsmoos, of the Creator, after people greet him. So first there's the initial stage of the welcoming face, or the beautiful face in Hebrew, panim yafos in Hebrew, beautiful face, the welcoming face. And then, after the people choose on their own free will to greet the Creator, then there's this revelation from above, which is the smiling face, panim sochakos, or shining face, which is really smiling face, which refers to the joy of the Creator after people greet him, like the joy that he has from people greeting them with their own free choice. So there's really two aspects of the Creator being in the. So we said this idea of the whole idea of the 13 attributes of mercy is like my beloved is to me, as opposed to I am for my beloved. But the first idea, which is just the fact that the king is in the field with a smiling face, or with a welcoming face, ready to greet everyone, that's like before people greet him. And then after that, then people have to do their own efforts of I'm for my beloved to actually greet the Creator and accept upon themselves the yoke of the Creator's kingship, and to realize the Creator as a king, and like accept the Creator as a king upon themselves. But then after they accept the Creator as a king upon themselves with their own free choice, then the Creator shows a smiling face back to them afterwards, which is like a new revelation of my beloved is to me, which is like the essential joy of the Creator in the Jewish people themselves, like in the joy that they accepted Him, which refers in the discourse says, this is the joy that the Creator has in the Jewish people, which is rooted in the Creator's essence, and that essential joy of the Jewish people in the Creator is openly revealed from the Creator back to the Jewish people, and then that reveals the inner joy that the Jewish people have to the Creator, which is the infinite. So Elul is this revelation. So initially we thought, oh, well, maybe this revelation of Elul is kind of like less than Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, but that was kind of like maybe only the first initial stage when he's in the field with the welcoming face. But this second idea, which is after people greet the king, then he shows a smiling face to them. This is like the infinite revelation of the essence of the Creator Himself, which seems to be beyond any other revelation. So Elul, this time, the king is in the field, is especially for those in the desert of exile. Not only is the king in a field, but like the fact that the king is in the field, meaning the field is like where plants and food can like grow, which implies metaphorically that it's a place where it's like in terms of spirituality, it's a place that's kind of like neutral spirituality. Like it's not necessarily like a holiness or not holiness, it's just like kind of in the middle. But a desert, the idea of a desert where like nothing really grows, represents like true evil, which is like less than a field. But the fact that the king is in the field, meaning that he's also accessible for those in the desert, even though the king's not actually in the desert, because the desert represents things that are like totally evil and against the Creator. But the fact that he's in the field means that even those who are in the desert can easily leave the desert and go to a field. Like it's not such a big deal to go from a desert to a field, but it is a big deal to go from either of those to the palace. So the fact that he's in the public domain in the field, which still has some plants, that could also influence people who are in the desert to go out of the desert into the field. So it's like it's easier for people in the desert, in the metaphorical exile, or like the true evil, for them to leave that state of desert to go to the field, at least, which is, so to speak, close to them. Because this revelation is infinite, it even is able to influence them in the desert. Even though the revelation itself is not in the desert, because the desert represents, metaphorically, like true evil, which the Creator cannot be found in. But because this revelation is infinite, it can influence the people who are found in the desert, and influence them to go out of the desert to the field to greet the Creator. And it says even one, so someone who's like in the field, which metaphorically means someone who's like, a field is like where some plants grow, so it could like be related to holiness. It means like someone who's in the field, maybe they already have some kind of, maybe, so to speak, open connection to holiness, but they don't really know how to express it. So like they could easily accept the king willingly upon themselves. But someone who's in the desert, like, it might be harder for them to like openly accept the king fully. But nevertheless, even if someone is in the desert and they only want to accept the king, but they don't fully know how, but even that is received by the king. Meaning, like, they don't have to actually fully accept him yet, but just the fact that they want to be able to accept him, that is enough of an empowerment. And it says their weak stirrings are braced kindly, meaning even if they just like do a little bit of effort on their own to want to greet the king. In the field, people actually go and greet the king, but in the desert, they don't actually greet the king yet, but just the fact that they want to greet the king, even that itself is accepted, and that it will eventually lead them to greet the king, etc. Then, okay, so again, we said the first thing is the welcoming face of the Creator, which is before the people greet them. Then afterwards, the Creator shows the smiling face from above to below. So this smiling face of the Creator, metaphorically, it says in the discourse, represents the essential delight that the Creator has with the Jewish people, which is rooted in the Creator's essence, in the Awtsmoos. Tainu kabilti murgash. It's a delight that's not even felt, meaning a delight that's so deeply rooted, metaphorically, in the Creator, so to speak, that it's like, it's not even something that's like felt. It's just something that's essentially part of him. And that revelation of the Creator is revealed back to the Jewish people, and that reveals the essential delight the Jewish people have in the Creator, which was always there, even at the time where they didn't openly accept the Creator as upon themselves. But this delight that the Jewish people have in the Creator is rooted in the core of their souls. That's beyond any other expression. And so when the king shows the smiling face to them, that means this revelation of the Creator shows that, like, the Creator shows this essential delight he has for the Jewish people, and then that essential delight that's revealed to them awakens and reveals the essential delight the Jewish people have in the Creator, which was always there the whole time. And it says, so again, to recap, first, the Alter Rebbe says, during the time of Elul, the king is in the fields, openly accessible to all. Not in the palace where it's like more exclusive, but in the field, the king is ready to greet everyone. So it says, the Alter Rebbe says he's in the field, and first of all, he accepts everyone with a beautiful face or welcoming face, meaning like he's ready to accept anyone who approaches him, and he's out there even before they approach him. He's out there with a welcoming face, or beautiful face in Hebrew, which means that he's willing to receive their will to return. Whenever they want to return to the Creator's like ready he's like waiting to receive their will. So it's like, in other words, the Creator in this context is not really necessarily doing anything active. He's just like making himself available and ready to accept anyone who chooses with their own free choice to approach the Creator. But then the second idea, which is the shining face, or in Hebrew, the smiling face, sochakos, refers to after the people choose with their own free will to accept the Creator, which is, I'm for my beloved. Then this idea of my beloved is to me this revelation of the delight, the smiling of the Creator, revelation of the Awtsmoos' own delights. And that happens after they accept the face. And this joy that the Creator has in the Jewish people is higher than the joy he has from mitzvos. The Creator commanded the Jewish people, and all people also, to follow certain commandments of the Creator. The commandments are a way for people to come close to the Creator, because for whatever reason that we don't always know, the Creator, like, so to speak, wants the commandments. The commandments are rooted in the will and the desire of the Creator, because through the commandments we could like reveal the Creator in the physical world, and the Creator wants to be revealed in the world. That want happens through the commandments. So the commandments, on the one hand, they have a certain willpower of the Creator. They have a certain want that the Creator has. The Creator wants to be revealed in the world. Through our actions of the commandments, then that reveals the Creator's delight in the world in a certain way, metaphorically. But the joy that the Creator has in the Jewish people themselves is higher than the joy that he has from their actions, which is, even though the actions are also really good, and they also bring the Creator in the world, but the joy that he has in the Jewish people themselves is higher than the joy from the mitzvahs and the commandments. And not only that, But this joy that the Creator has in the Jewish people is not only higher than the commandments, but it's higher than teshuva. Teshuva means if someone transgressed one of the commandments, then they like regret it, and then they return to the Creator with their own free choice. Then that's like a very deep delight within the Creator Himself. That's like the Creator wants people to return to Him, even if they didn't do the commandments. But this delight that He has in the Jewish people is higher even than the delight that He gets from people returning to Him, if that makes sense. Meaning, first, there's the delight that He has from the commandments that we do. But if someone is lacking the commandments, then that's like lacking the delight of the commandments. So in order to fix that, then one can return to the Creator with teshuvah. And teshuvah is also a delight. The Creator also wants people to return to Him. So there's a certain delight that He has from people returning to Him. But the delight that He has in the people themselves is greater even than the delight that He has from people returning to Him. And that's the smiling face that happens. Elul, this time, reveals the essence bond of Yisroel with the Awtsmoos. Like we said, the smiling face is the essential delight the Creator has in the Jewish people, which reveals the essential delight that the Jewish people have with the Creator, which is beyond even returning to the Creator. An awareness of the King sparks the hidden will of the soul. Just the fact that we know that the King is in the field, the same place we are, that itself, even though we said it didn't like openly influence the soul to approach them like Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, but the fact that He's there, that sparks the hidden will of the soul. And especially when we approach the Creator, then He shows a smiling face that openly reveals that the King is the living heart of Yisroel revealed themselves. And Elul exposes the soul's desire for Awtsmoos, which is beyond reason. There's no logical reason why the Jewish people should like want the Creator to be revealed to them. It just happens because it's beyond logic. It's rooted in the core of the soul. And during this time of Elul, that revelation of the essential delight of the Jewish people and the Creator is revealed. So this happens, like we said, because this entire time is because this was a time where the Creator, like in the Torah, forgave the Jewish people for worshiping the golden calf. And He told Moshe 13 reasons, or 13 attributes, so to speak, of why the Creator forgives people. 13 attributes of mercy, which is 13 reasons for why the Creator forgives. And that happened in the Torah during this month of the year. So this entire month is a time of that revelation of the 13 reasons of forgiveness from the Creator. And we said that revelation just shines openly during this time. And it's implied that really the 13 attributes of mercy, so to speak, were in like a more exclusive place before this. And then during Elul, it's as if they went from that more exclusive place, metaphorically compared to like a palace of a king, and then they went down to a lower level of the field, which metaphorically represents like this whole world and like the way that the place that's accessible for all. So in a simple sense, this revelation of the mercy of the Creator went down from a higher place. It started out in like a palace in a higher place, and then during this month of the year, it went down on a lower level. But it says this descent was only for the sake of Yisroel. And it says in the discourse that, but like we said, when it descends to the field, then it's able to reveal the hidden desire of the Jewish people in the Creator themselves. And then it says that hidden desire of the Jewish people that's revealed when the attributes of mercy of the Creator come into the field, then that even is greater than the place that the mercy was at originally, if that makes sense. Their descent itself causes their evolution, meaning not only the evolution of the Jewish people who are in the field, in the place where the Creator's mercy is extended to, but even the Creator's mercy itself gets elevated, so to speak, from the revelation of the Jewish people's desire of the Creator that happens when it comes down. And because all of creation and all of revelation, all revelations, including the revelation of the Creator's mercy, only were created for the sake of the Jewish people of Yisroel. So it says, even those who are lost in the foreign fields, which metaphorically refers to like the desert, which is like evil, even those cry out. And then it says, their cry reveals their essence, which never left the Awtsmoos. Even when they seemed to be far away, it was always there. And then it says, Teshuvah, returning from complete distance, shows the truest closeness that the Jewish people have always had with the Creator. And this return of the Jewish people to the Creator, this uplifts the 13 attributes themselves, meaning, so to speak, the fact that the Jewish people return to the Creator when the Creator is revealed in the field, that act of return actually elevates the actual mercy of the Creator itself. Like we said, that the mercy of the Creator was found in a higher place, thanks to the heart, Timuruk, Cool. So like the mercy of the Creator was originally like in this higher, more exclusive place, but then it came down to the lower level of the field in order to awaken the spark of the Jewish people to return to the Creator. And then it says, when that happens, when that spark of the Jewish people is awakened within from the fact that the mercy of the Creator came down to them, then that uplifts the mercy of the Creator itself, which is also a revelation. We said all the revelations are for the Jewish people. So when this connection of the Jewish people happens to which is the essential connection they have with the Awtsmoos, that elevates even the mercy of the Creator itself. And it says in the discourse, this is like an analogy of a certain term that's mentioned in the Torah. It says a melech l'sara nevare. Even a king is indebted or subservient to a field. In the simple sense, it's referring to like a regular king, like made of flesh and blood, who even a king who's like the highest authority, to which there's no one higher than him, even he needs a field, which is like a lower level, one of the lowest levels, because only in a field is there food, like the actual wheat, which makes bread that the king lives with. So the point is, even someone who's a king, even like the highest level, is still subservient to the field, which is the lowest level, because he needs to have food from the field. So even though this analogy is referring to like in the simple meaning, to like a regular king who has to eat food, but metaphorically it even refers to, so to speak, the Creator himself. Even the Creator is like the king, who's like beyond anything possible. But in a certain sense, even he has a certain dependence on the field, which is the place that we are found now in this world. Because through the field, through the people who are in the field, the Jewish people in the field, then when that inner desire of the Jewish people in the field is revealed, that the inner connection they have to the Awtsmoos, so to speak, that, so to speak, creates like an elevation in the revelations of the Creator himself. Like without the Jewish people who are in the field, then this revelation of the essential connection wouldn't happen. So therefore it's like even the king of the universe himself is like subservient to the field in a certain way, because the field is like where we're found. And then when the Creator comes down to the fields to reveal his hidden desire of the Jewish people in the field, which is the hidden connection they have with the Awtsmoos, then that even elevates the mercy of the Creator itself, so to speak. So yeah, this is the time of Elul, the time where it says, "I'm for my beloved, and my beloved is to me," which refers to. So that's why it says even the simple meaning is "my beloved is to me" is afterwards, after Elul, during the time of the Jewish New Year of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, when there's a great revelation from above. That is the simple explanation of why it says that. But during the entire month of Elul, it's implied, it's only our own efforts from "I'm my beloved." But we said during this discourse that even the second idea of "my beloved is to me" also exists in Elul, because the fact that the king is in the field, this revelation of the king from above in the field, and then after the people choose on their own to greet the Creator with their own free will, then the Creator shows this shining face to them from above to below. That's like "my beloved is to me." After they have their own efforts of I'm for my beloved to approach the king in the field, then it says the Creator shows his shining face from above. My beloved is to me, which represents the essential desire that the king has in the Jewish people, which reveals the essential desire the Jewish people have in the king, and then that elevates even the king himself in a certain way. And so that's why both of these ideas are alluded to in Elul, which is the time of divine mercy. And we should all have the revelation of the king in the fields, and especially when the Messiah comes. It says the Messiah is going to be is going to be a human being, a person, but he's going to be a king of the world. And it says through his kingship, then the Creator is going to like rule over the world. Basically, it's going to be the Messiah himself is not the Creator. The Messiah is just a person, but through the Messiah's kingship, then the Creator is going to rule like through him over the whole world, and then the Creator is going to be revealed in everything. And yeah, it should happen today. It could happen now, and it should happen now.